UFC 275 recap. Notorious Radio 718. Mitch, I want to know, that light heavyweight championship fight was insane. Yuri versus Glover. I want to know, tell the people what you think about that fight.
That fight was incredible. 28 seconds for Yuri to slip in that submission and take away that win from Glover. Everyone knows if that fight went to the decision, Glover was getting his hand raised and he would have been the light heavyweight champion still today.
So what's next for Glover?
Glover, nothing. He's paid his dues. He can sit back a little bit. He took a lot of damage that last fight. He can literally ease back, recover, talk to his team, talk to his family, and see what's really best for him. He really has nothing to prove. He's climbed a mountain. He became champion. Of course, he lost that on his first title defense. But it wasn't an easy fight for either man.
Shout out to Yuri. What a fighter. What a fighter. Reminds me of a Mortal Kombat character. The way that his style is just so fun to watch.
His fighting was so unorthodox. His movement is so unusual that your conventional fighter just can't understand it. You don't know where the punches, the uppercuts he was throwing, the body shots, the head movement. He was so slippery. You couldn't even keep him on the floor. His ground game was so impressive this fight. I was shocked that he was able to get out of some of those insane situations that Glover was putting him. He was in full mount, raining elbows on him.
Is the light heavyweight division watered down? What do you think about that?
I think the light heavyweight division is a little bit watered down, but with Yuri becoming a champion, he gets to try a little bit of the light heavyweight division. He gets that opportunity to get fresh looks and see how he plays out.
Who do you think is going to challenge him next? I know management thinks Anthony Smith, Magomed will be the next to challenge him. Who do you think?
No. I think it's either going to be Jan or Magomedov Ankalaev. I think those two guys are the best matchups for him. Maybe they'll verse each other and then go for the title. Or they'll just let Jan fight him directly. They'll just have to see. The matchmakers, they know what's usually best for the company, and they'll end up deciding that.
Overall, what an insane fight. Only took him 3 UFC fights to become a champion.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. And the UFC are doing such a good job with him and managing him and bringing him up to the spotlight.
Alright, guys. We want to welcome you to the episode. This is Notorious Radio 718. We got Mitch and we got Arthur from Notorious Pulls, guys. Alright, guys. I got a lot of notes. I got a lot of questions today. I want to pick your mind. We're going to pick your brain.
Of course, always.
You are the Notorious Radio guru.
Yes, I am.
You're the guy that spits facts, wins people's money. People money. We hit a little bit of an L, but we got some W.
It's a learning experience.
Definitely a learning experience. It's okay. It's okay. We got that on lockdown. All right, so let's get it. So we just talked about the Yuri and the Glover fight. Let's move on to the other fights. You want to talk about Zhang and Joanna first? Because she did retire, 20-year career. So let's talk about her. What do you think about that fight? Second round knockout. That was a mean spinning punch.
That spinning bad fist was beautiful. It's definitely put Zhang
Beautiful
in
and painful.
knockout of the year. That fight's definitely going to be up there for knockout of the year because that was just absolutely gorgeous. She literally dropped from air. She hit the ground just like a baseball.
She floated.
But shout out to Joanna, 20 years in the sport, been absolute legend. It's been a pleasure watching you. So glad I got to see your last fight. You took the gloves down, and
That was an amazing moment.
that was an amazing moment in Singapore, UFC 275. Both fighters coming off that. This is an insane rematch almost, but Zhang put the nail in the coffin. She retired her properly. She's probably, the way she knocked her out, she's up for the title fight versus Peraza. I think that makes sense.
So she's going to go against Carla.
Yeah. She's going to go against the Cookie Monster.
Cookie!
I like that. Cookie Monster. All right, let's get it. Oh my God, that was hilarious. All right, Shevchenko, Santos. What do we think about that? Do you agree with the decision they made? Do you agree? Or do you think a lot of people are saying that Santos was robbed? She had the most dominance during the fight. A lot of people are saying she was robbed. The judges are blind.
I rewatched that fight personally a few times.
How many times?
A few times. And I like to always look over the controversial fights. And to me, other than that unfortunate headbutt, Valentina looked dominant. Yes, on the ground, Santos had her in a few little awkward positions, but she was still effectively striking on the ground. She was composed, and when the rounds ended, say the rounds that she was coming off her back, she got up quick, went to her corner, composed, recharged, and back out there. It went 5 rounds. You can't steal it from her. 7 times defending the belt. You can't say Santos decisively beat her. That's my thing. If it was the other way, I think it'd be more of a robbery. I think it's fair. She won it fairly. I don't want to say she dominated Santos, which wasn't the case, but I do believe she did enough to beat her.
So what's next for Santos? Is there going to be a rematch? Is she going to get her a chance again at Shevchenko?
Later down the line, that will always come up because no one's really ever taken Shevchenko to such deep water. She brought out the best in Shevchenko, but Santos needs a few fights. Let her fight a couple other top 5 in the division and see how it goes. If she does well and she runs through them, then yeah, why can't she fight for the title again?
The Bullet 9-0. 9-0. That's 9-0. 9-0. Management knows the facts. He's gonna put a little warning right here, a little meme or something, or saying something like that of her winning 9-0. 9-0. So you heard it here. All right. So should we move on? What do you want to talk about next? We got that UFC fight coming up.
Oh, this Saturday? Are you kidding me?
June 18th, new arena, Austin, Texas.
This is gonna be an absolute slugfest.
Emmett versus Kattar.
Kattar versus Josh Emmett. We got Boston versus Cali. This is like the Lakers versus the Celtics, this matchup, believe it or not. You got the New England Cartel, Calvin Kattar from Boston. We'll call him the Celtics.
I got questions for you.
We got Josh Emmett from Sacramento, Cali, Team Alpha Male, fighting out of Uriah Faber's gym. And this is gonna be an absolute action-packed 5-round fight. This fight can possibly end very quickly because Emmett carries retarded power with his punches, or this can be a big punishment to Emmett because Kattar is like a zombie and he's non-stop. Cardio machine and super crisp boxing.
Both ranked top 10 in the top 10 of the division.
Yeah, Kattar is 4th and Emmett is ranked 7th.
So I want to know what fights for that event that you're going to be most excited about besides Kattar and Emmett.
Oh no, with Kattar, we still have to go over his last win, beating Giga Chikadze.
I couldn't believe that. I really couldn't believe that.
He hurt that boy.
Yeah.
He hurt him.
It was painful to watch.
Yeah, that was a painful fight.
Done did it to him.
But respect to both of them. Warriors. You know, that was a real
he's a beast. Giga's a fucking beast. Okay, let's talk about the Cowboy fighting. He's not having a good streak right now in the UFC. What is it, like 6 losses in a row?
Yeah. This might be the retirement fight for Cowboy. I'm telling the fans right now, guys,
he's gonna put his gloves down.
I think this is it for him. I think this is our goodbye co-main event. We say our goodbye to a beautiful run.
To everyone out there drinking beer, thank you.
So, you think he's gonna beat Joe?
No, I don't.
What do you think is gonna be the results of that match?
I think Joe beats him by decision. They'll fight for the 15 minutes, but I think Joe is gonna win. I think he's gonna get his hand picked up at the end. That's my prediction.
Damn.
I know it's sad, but I have to go with my heart.
You really think that he's gonna go down like that?
I think Cowboy has just taken too much damage over his career. He's broken more bones.
All fighters take a lot of things. I mean,
No, but Cowboy just has a medical history of broken fingers, bones, knees. He's just... It's insane that he even wants to do one more fight for the fans, which is truly respect, you know?
got a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
He has a lot of heart. He's a fighter, you know?
Yeah. That's guaranteed.
All right, let's go on to the next fight. What are we thinking about Tim Means, Kevin Holland? What are we thinking about that fight?
You mean Big Mouth?
Sucks. Hit me so hard. Dana. What the hurts? Okay.
Kevin Big Mouth Holland?
All right, look at that. Got you excited right now.
Yeah. I think that's going to be amazing. This is going to be his second fight in the welterweight division versus Tim Dirty Bird Means. And I like Tim. He's a great veteran. He's scrappy. He comes prepared. He's a great union guy for the UFC. You know, he takes fights. He's not scared for a challenge against a prospect, against a veteran. He'll mix it up. And I think Kevin Holland coming and fighting him, I think that's really nice. I think that's good for like the deep fans who really understand the sport. Maybe some of the new guys, they might overlook this fight. But for me, this is a treat. I'm going to enjoy this one big
I
time.
see you're big time excited right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going down the line. What other fights are going to be excited for you? Let's talk about Demir. Let's talk about Albert. What about that fight?
Oh,
what are your predictions on that?
Albert Duraev versus Joe Queen, Newsman Buckley. First of all, this is going to be sick. And hopefully this comes out with a big highlight. I don't know if anyone remembers Buckley's spinning back kick versus Impa.
Impa.
He put up like 17 million views on Instagram. It was like the most biggest reposted knockout in UFC history by this guy. He's a sick knockout machine. He's like he makes highlight reels. Like, this guy is no joke. And we get to have him against Albert Duraev, who was on Dana White's Contender Series, won beautifully by submission, won his debut fight in the UFC, has a great wrestling background, and he's going against a crazy finisher.
Okay, so there we have it. We got Buckley, Albert, and let's move on to Demir and Guram. What do you think about that? We got pretty much a 15-fight winning streak right now. Can it beat Snap? Can it beat Snap during this fight event in Texas?
Demir Malayev, 23-1, the Kazakh, 4-0 in the UFC. Can he be derailed? If there was any lightweight that can possibly do it, it's this guy Guram. A lot of people might be sleeping on him. He's 12-2, but he's 9-0. Also, he's been sidelined by a lot of injuries. But
what was his recent injury?
He's just been sidelined by different training injuries.
Okay. Absolutely no luck during training. That's the worst.
Yeah. He's fighting with Khazmat in Sweden. He's training with all the Georgian killers in the UFC. Ilya Topuria, Merab Dashishvili. You know, training out in Spain with them. Doing his thing. So this is a nice comeback fight for the Georgian Viking. It's been since 2020 since he last fought. So I think this is going to be a real good treat for the UFC. And the matchmakers really thought this one through. This fight means a lot to both guys. This could be a breakout for them in the lightweight division. Because that division is still also kind of a little bit in the funk. And a lot of these prospects can break out right now and make a name for themselves.
I like that take you got there, honestly. You really do seem excited about this fight card. All right, let's talk about the last fight of the night, probably. We got Julian Marquez and Gregory Rodriguez. What are we thinking about that, Mitch?
Oh, Julian has been absolutely phenomenal as of recently. 9-2. He's a big middleweight. The Cuban Missile also came out of Dana White's Contender Series. And I keep mentioning it like, yo, that shit is sick. Dana White's Contender Series really be putting out amazing talent. You know? So, like, that's coming out soon in the summer, so can't wait to highlight that. His opponent, the Brazilian, Gregory Robocop. Guy is bold, looking like Mr. Clean. But, yo, this dude can fight. And he goes for the knockout. And the UFC stayed trying to set him up to take some losses. And he be coming up with some big wins. So, this is a risky fight for Julian. And I think this is a great fight that the matchmakers and the UFC put together for the opening fight for us.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. So we pretty much got this event June 18th, right? Brand new event, brand new arena. So we just went over all the fights. We had a UFC 275 recap, which was insane. I will love to talk about it again if we still have time. Do we have time? Let's talk about again, honestly. Do you think that in Yuri's career anyone's gonna beat him? Like the way that he fights?
It'll be hard, but I still think there's a few prospects. Like I said, he still needs to fight Jan, which is, the former champion, but he needs to fight Ankalaev Magomedov, who's also a really good fighter in that division and has proved himself amongst the ranks, who's had more fights than Yuri and has been promoted a little bit differently. Like Yuri kind of got a little bit Dana White privilege versus Ankalaev. And I think they need to fight. They need to settle that. And then I'll have a much more concrete decision. Because after 3 fights, I can't just throw away the key and say, he's the greatest.
Sounds like all the upcoming fights are going to be super spicy. All right. I want to also take the time, by the way, guys, to show our appreciation and love to all the 81 subscribers that we have on our Notorious Radio 718 on YouTube. Guys, if you have an account with YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We go by Notorious Radio 718. We got Mitch in the building, the UFC guru. It's always a pleasure that you guys got me on the show. I honestly can't complain, honestly. Every UFC fight, you guys got me sitting down, watching the fights. And I got to come up with specific questions because I always, when I come through every show, I'm going to pick your brain. I really want to know what you truly think because, sometimes your answers might not be aligned with others. So I really want to know what you think. I want to know if you can steer the pot.
Of course, listen, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for entertainment, here to steer the pot, here to stir the pot, mix the pot, melt the pot.
Stir up the potion.
Notorious.
The champ is here!